Options trading is one of the most popular investment strategies in the world, and there are countless stories of people turning $16,000 into millions of dollars, but you also have stories of people losing all their money as well. So does this mean that you shouldn't do it? No, absolutely not. Throughout this video, I will show you 3 methods you could use as a beginner to follow step by step to increase your returns every single year, what the terms mean, and then go over those 3 beginner strategies to make you some extra money. And throughout this video, we will be using footage from my trip to Cannon Beach, which is right outside of Portland, Oregon, and is actually where this picture is from. What is the difference between buying stocks and buying options? When buying stocks, you can theoretically own them for as long as you want. And when trading options, you have a contract which has an expiration date. When purchasing options, you are sometimes using leverage to buy one contract, which is equal to 100 shares. While trading options, you really have 2 things that you're able to do, and that is either to buy or to sell. Stick around and I will show you how to use those when you think the market is going to go up or go down. Why buy options? There are 3 reasons that people usually trade options. First, to earn some income. If you own shares in a stock, you could sell puts or write calls. And if that sounded like gibberish, then stick around and I'll explain that all to you. The general gist is that if the strike price does not get hit by the end of the expiration of their contract, you get to keep your premium and your stocks as well, which is not a bad thing. Secondly, hedge some risk. Using options can be used to set parameter around your investment. Instead of putting a stop loss on a stock when it's going down, you are able to buy put options to define your downside protection. Someone who did this very successfully was Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, who used options when he sold his company to Yahoo, and then they had the .com crash. 3, speculation. Trading options allows you to use leverage to make a guess on where you think the market is going to go, whether that is up, down, sideways. One of the reasons people like using options is because they can use less capital to get big gains. Now that we know why people use options, let's change locations, go into my phone, go over how to use them, and those 3 strategies that you can start today to make some extra money. Just a heads up, this is gonna sound extremely confusing if this is your first time, and if you're a seasoned pro, I'm not sure why you're watching this video, but thank you. The app that we're gonna use is Robinhood, and I know that their stock has plummeted and they get a bad reputation with the super elite like Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett for trying to gamify the system, but they actually make it pretty easy to use and to understand trading option. We're gonna open up the app, then find a stock we like, and that stock will be Tesla. Even though we like the stock, that is an extremely volatile stock, which may be easy to trade using options if you know which way it's gonna go. All right, so we now have our Tesla stock, and what we're gonna do from here is once the page loads, we'll scroll down to where it has the trade and trade options, and then you may need to turn on this setting if you don't already have it, and that's really easy. They will ask you some questions to make sure that you're competent or that you know what you're doing, but it's really easy to be able to turn it on. Now that we have it tapped on and we've opened the page can look a bit overwhelming, but I promise it's not that difficult to understand. But we're gonna start up on the top, and these are the expiration dates. So we have some that will expire on May 13th, which is next week, and then all the way out to June 21st of 2024. Very simply, this will just explain how long the contract is good for. Remember, you're making a contract with somebody else to either buy their shares or to be able to sell your shares. And the further that you're going out with your trade, the less risky it becomes, because you have more time for the market to do what you're expecting it to, whether that is to go up or to go down. But when you're trying to talk about within the next couple of days, it's kind of hard to know what's going to happen. So we're going to pick a date which will be just a couple months out. So let's pick on the August 19th, and now a whole new screen will open up. What you see in the middle is the share price currently, and that is $863. Now on the left side, we have a strike price or the potential future price of the stock, and that can go up or it can go down. And if it's anything like early Kanye West, it all falls down. I hope somebody got that joke. The strike price is what you think the stock is gonna be worth at the end of this contract. So for me, I think by August that the Tesla stock is going to be worth $1,000. I don't actually think that, but if it's followed any of its market patterns, that's not totally unreasonable. Now we need to talk about the right side of the screen, and this is the premium that you're gonna have to pay. This premium is paid by the person that's going to be buying the contract. So that was a lot of information, and let's do a quick recap. The expiration date is when the contract will expire. The strike price is what you think the stock is going to be worth at the end of your contract, and the premium is how much you will have to be paid or will be paid. So let's give a quick example. Let's say that I have 100 dog ropes. Currently these dog ropes are worth $5 at my grocery store, but you say, hey, in 6 months, I will pay you $7 to buy your 100 dog ropes because I think they are going to be worth $10. And then I say, sure, but you owe me $1 per rope for the premium. You may be thinking the price is gonna go up for whatever reason. I don't think it's gonna go up, but if I'm able to double my purchase price, then I have no problem selling my shares, but I don't think that, and so I might as well get the premium as well. Now that we have the terms, let's dive into calls and puts. Making a call can sometimes mean that you're a bull because you're gonna think that the price is going to go up, and by the end of the contract, your strike price is going to be higher than it is currently. You are going to be doing this because you think that you're going to be able to buy these stocks at a discount because you can purchase them now at a cheaper price than what they're going to be at by the end of the contract. You want to buy the option to buy this because you think that you will be getting it at a discount, and you have no problem paying that premium to get it at a cheaper price today than what you think it's going to be at in the future. You can also make a put, which means that you're a bear and you think that the stock is going to go down in price below the strike price at or before the expiration date, where you think that you can sell your stocks at a premium. You can also sell call options, which means that you have no obligation to sell your shares at the expiration date at the strike price, but make money from being paid a premium. This means that if your stock does not hit the strike price, you get to keep your stocks as well as being paid a premium. So that's not bad at all. That may have been a bit confusing, and so you can always rewind and go over that again if you want to do so, but we're gonna move ahead just in case you got it on the first chance, and I'm thinking you're pretty smart, and so you did. But let's dive into the 3 strategies that you can use as a beginner. Strategy 1, selling covered calls. If you have 100 shares of your stock, you can sell covered calls, which is basically selling a call on the stocks that you already own. So let's go with something a little less risky and go a couple months out. So let's go all the way to December 16th. Now we need to decide what we think Tesla is going to be worth by December 16th. Now, if you're unsure of this, Robinhood also gives you an estimation, which is the chance of profit. So the higher you go, the higher the chance of the profit, and the cheaper you go, the less chance of profit. This also means the higher the chance of profit, the less premium that you're going to get because it's not very likely to happen. And so as we had discussed, let's say that Tesla is currently at 863, but I think by December that if the stock got to $1,100, which it has done pretty frequently, and that I would have no problem selling at that price. But now if Tesla doesn't get to 1,100, then I would get to keep my stocks, but also be paid a premium. While using Robinhood, they also have the break-even price, which is including the premium, where you would have to get to just break even on your shares. Let's say that I wanted to sell Tesla at $1,100 by December 16th. I will do one of those, and they would have the price of the premium would be $9,000, which wouldn't be bad, but you would need to own 100 shares of Tesla, so that's like $80,000. So, but one thing that they will let you know is that you can have a max loss, and that isn't limited, so just be careful. They will make sure that you have the money to participate in this, and so that is something to be aware of as well, and they'll hold it as collateral. Strategy number 2 is to buy stocks by selling puts. That might sound kind of confusing, but here's how it works. You see that Tesla is currently at $863, but you think that it's gonna go down and you can get it at a cheaper price. Maybe Elon's too busy with Twitter, or he's just too busy going to outer space, who knows? By selling a put, it is the obligation to buy those stocks. So this will be the same way of getting there. You go trade option, you pick your expiration date, whatever you want to do. So let's do June 24th. Now we want to decide what we think that we're going to buy it for by June 24th, that if it got down to 800, we would have no problem buying it at that price. Let's say that we would do this here. We enter in, we would want to buy 100. And then if the stock doesn't hit that price, then we just cover the premium. And if it does hit the price, then you have to purchase it at that strike price, but we are already making sure that we are comfortable with that purchase. Once again, they will make sure that you have your money in your account. Strategy number 3, leaps. Let's say that I want to buy Robinhood, but I don't have the money to buy 100 shares. You can buy the option to control those 100 shares by buying leaps. Same thing as with everything else. You go to trade option, and the further we go out and choose to buy a call, I think by January 19th, 2024, I'm gonna make a prediction on what I think the stock price is going to be. So currently the price is around $10, and I think that in 2 years, the price could be at least worth $15, and if not, the stock probably went under. But you can see here that it has a break even, because if we take into account the premium we paid and what the overall premium will be, the break even would be $17.84. This may not be cheap, but it is a lot cheaper than buying them outright now, and you can control them whether you wanted to trade them or to do covered calls on them as well. Basically, we're making the assumption that it's gonna be worth more than it is now in 2 years, and if it is not, well, you lose money. So as I mentioned at the outset, or even in the middle of the video, are risks which are associated with trading options, and you need to be careful with what you're doing and to be okay with the risks that you're going to take. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a better idea of how to trade options. And if you know anyone that can benefit from this information, then consider sharing this with them. And if you want to grow the channel, then tap that like button. And if you want to be around for when I post my next video, do not forget to subscribe. And if you want to see me do a video where I trade options, then leave a comment down below, but I will see you guys next time.